Hello Potato, and welcome to another video where we're gonna build some Lego. I am still trying to finish building my Lego Carnival for the year before it's time to take it down in just a few weeks now. So I've got two more kits to build. We best get to it. Today, we're gonna build the newest of this year's editions. Came out just at the beginning of August, and that is something that's gonna seem probably a little out of left field until I explain it, and even then it might still not make sense. But that is Kit 75637, Buggy the Clown's Circus Tent from the Netflix One Piece line. Now, I do like anime. I have never gotten into One Piece. I think possibly there was the issue of having originally seen some of like the heavily censored versions on American television years and years ago. But I just couldn't get into it, and there's like 1,000 episodes of it now, and I'm certainly not going to bother starting now, even though I have access to the uncensored versions. Now, of course, this is not from the animated version. This is specifically from the Netflix version. I don't know if that's particularly a licensing thing, like somebody else has the license to build building block toys based on the anime of One Piece, or if it's just part of the partnership between Lego and Netflix, hence the things like the Stranger Things Lego, and of course the very rare and obscure Squid Game Lego. But seeing as I do not watch One Piece, I have very little idea who these characters are. I know who Monkey D. Luffy is, because I mean it's a show that's been around for years and years. I've seen Monkey around. I've seen Monkey in AMVs. I've seen lots of Monkey cosplayers. And Nami, I'm also familiar with existing. Now, Zoro, not spelled like the Masked Adventurer, and Buggy the Clown, I have no idea who they are. So why did I pick up the One Piece Lego set? Or one of the One Piece. Honestly, all of them look pretty cool. It's kind of like that Ninjago thing where the designs are really nice looking. They're just not a series that I'm going to be interested in collecting. But I picked this one up because honestly, it has very much of a carnival vibe to me. I don't know any of the context of this character. I'm assuming they are a villain and that these things that look like they should be wonderful little like carnival exhibits are actually Buggy trying to kill our heroes. But looking at it makes me think an awful lot of Captain Jack Spareribs, who is a frequent feature at local fairs, including the State Fair. We didn't catch any video of him this year, but he was there, and you can watch clips of him in past year's videos. But it made me think of Jack Spareribs, and I thought, this actually would look cool. It's like a little show in the carnival. Now, I may have to do some work on this to modify it, because it does look like all the chairs are kind of facing the wrong way. I don't know if those are actually attached or not, though. If those aren't attached, that's simple enough. But I think this will go over by the pirate ride, because it's pirate themed. And I think it'll look good there. I think this does have context of One Piece aside. It does have that kind of carnival entertainer vibe going to it. We have like some, we have like an escape tank. We have throwing knife board. We have an escape cage. It's kind of like Captain Jack Sparrow's, where he does some magic tricks and he does some comedy and he does some puppetry. And I thought that's my collection. That's why I have bought a One Piece set to put into my carnival. Keeping in mind, the carnival also features like a Friends set and a Dreams set. It's just things that look right to me. It could have featured a Hidden Side set, but they discontinued the Hidden Side drop tower before I ever got around to buying it. So this set is the second largest of our sets for this year, 573 pieces. It comes with, looks like 4 minifigures, and I guess Buggy here must have, I guess it must be a henchman. I was going to look, it's Buggy in a miniature form, but that must actually be like a henchman, but I don't think that's going to count as a minifigure. It's got a minifigure head, but it does look like it's otherwise brick built. So we're going to call it 4 minifigures and whatever that little thing is. And they will be Clown Pirate Entertainment at our carnival. So ages 8 and up is Is the Netflix show appropriate for that age group? I mean, I know it's based on an anime, but not all anime is for kids, you know? And I know that we did originally get One Piece here as a kids anime, because like with Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon, they just kind of tried to Americanize it and censor things out that they deemed inappropriate. Hence the famous scene in Yu-Gi-Oh! Where the character tosses a lollipop out of their mouth and then points their finger threateningly at a hero. All right, let's crack this open and see what we have here. It is a thumb punch box. It contains 2 random wanted posters. I guess this is going to be similar to like they had the wizard posters, I think it was in Harry Potter a couple years back. It's going to be like that sort of a thing. Let's pull it out and see what we have here. So we have at least 5 bags. I feel like this is going to have a lot more fiddly bits than Robot World did. It just doesn't seem like it's going to be that physically large of a set to be over half the piece count. Yeah, there's a lot of small pieces in there. In bag 6 there. Looks like our last/final bag. Gotta stop combining words into other words that already exist. We have, it's like 6 bags. All pretty small though. We do have a small decal sheet. No, we have 2 decal sheets. This would be for the water tank, it looks like. And then we have the Buggy Pirate sign. So you had no printed pieces to speak of again. Well, I guess the clown face is printed, but no, there's the clown face in decals. So we get to put together that what could have been a single printed piece. We get to put together as multiple stickers. All right. Here's our decal. If you want to follow along on the app, what are we looking at here stepwise? So there is our selection of wanted posters we could get. And it looks like they're meant to go on the outside of Buggy's tent. So that's probably where they'll end up regardless of who they are. I don't know which one of these is necessarily rare or important or, again, who these people even are. But it looks like we're looking at, nope, that's a 224 steps to build Buggy the Clown's circus tent. So, get yourselves a mug of grog or ale or whatever it is, rum, I suppose. Get yourself a barrel of rum. Not that we endorse drinking, but not that we don't endorse drinking. And let's build us some anime pirates in the fast forward. There we have it. Kit 75637, Netflix one-piece Buggy the Clown's circus tent, all put together. And yeah, a lot of little fiddly bits in there, but I think overall looks good. So first thing I notice is the chairs do come off. So I will be able to, for the purposes of my display, pop them off like this, flip them around, clip them together, voila! The audience area. All right, so that is my biggest concern with this set, addressed very, very quickly. So, the build. Fairly straightforward, a fair number of little fiddly bits, lots of decals, including some of the, some unpleasant ones. Let's see if I can find the right one. So, I guess the little clown they showed on the back of the box is just Buggy the Clown in a different form, because all the little bits for that version of him are stored in these little crates and barrels. The hands are in the barrels, and the body goes in the crate, and the hat is also in this crate. And this was a horrible decal. That's why I keep the tweezers nearby. Had to use them a few times in this build, because yeah, the eyes for the big clown marquee needed it, and yeah, this definitely too small for these rock biter hands. So I guess what you're supposed to do here is, and I'm sure if I watched either the anime or the Netflix series, this would all make perfect sense to me, but it appears that we take, I guess, Buggy apart and put his head on here, and there we go. There we have the version of him shown on the back of the box. It was not a separate figure, it was the main figure of Buggy the Clown. So yeah, there's that. You do need to be able to get back here because these crates go back here, but luckily the side flaps here, the middle one doesn't, but the side flaps do have a fair amount of range of movement, so you can get back in there and put those crates to use. So I like the hairpiece on this. It's pretty sure that is a unique. I'm just gonna put the body in there like that. Why? The hands fit on the body. I'm sure there is a story reason for why the hands and the body and the hat are all kept separate, but I don't care. I'm not going to bother with that. And yes, I do realize I put the crates back in the reverse order of where they started. So we do have Buggy's Circus show here. Get that. There we go. We have an escape cage, which does have two sections that come down. Otherwise, we've seen cages like this before. I think the Sanderson house from Hocus Pocus has a cage very similar to this, although I don't think it opens. We have the spinning knife toss here. We have actually, this is unique. I haven't seen this piece before. I don't know if it's a new one, but I guess this character must carry a sword in their mouth, because we have this unique, at least to me unique. I don't know if it's been used in other things, but it fits around, not the neck, so you don't take the head off to put it on there, but it fits around, it clips around the neck to make it look like he's holding the sword in his mouth. Also, he came with a second hairpiece, which doesn't do a particularly great job of covering, it's good enough, of covering the back side of the face. So most of the characters, I think all the characters actually have two faces. We have on Zorro here, we have his angry face and his smirky face. On Luffy, we have a happy smiling face and a smug face. Also, I do like how, because I know from pictures and stuff I've seen, that Luffy does frequently wear his hat like on a strap hanging down his back. So I like the way they've handled that, using one of those back clips to clip his hat on back there. Nami has kind of a smirky face and an angry fighty face. And then Buggy has the evil smiling face, suitable for any clown, and then a crying face, or I guess maybe when they get defeated, they turn into the little clown version. I don't know. So we have the spinning knife thing. Now, unfortunately, there's no way to like stick knives to this. I mean, I'm sure we can modify something to clip, put some claw pieces there to clip them onto, but as created, there's no way to actually, but you can actually stick a character on there like they are being, well, I suppose in the context of the toy, probably tortured. For the purposes of my use, they're just part of the act. But yeah, we can rotate them and somebody else can chuck knives. So I'm guessing Zorro here is going to be my carnival knife thrower and part of the Buggy show. I don't know if Zorro's a good guy or a bad guy in the show. I'm assuming Buggy is a bad guy, and I'm assuming Zorro is not, because it does look like Zorro's being like imperiled on the box there as he's leaping off of the wheel. And then we have our water tank, which is actually, this one's pretty cool. So you put your, you put your character in there. For the purposes of the carnival, it is an escape tank. It's meant to be escaped from. For the purposes of the show, I'm guessing it again is imperiling our heroes. But by punching the front here, the front blows off and your hero can escape. And it looks like Luffy is meant to take off that hat to put him in there. And of course you can take off the hair and put the hat on him. So it looks like, are we supposed to like balance him up on that somehow? Anyways, you can escape by doing that. But it looks like you can, I was thinking they should like put him, like balance him on the edge of that so he can fly out with it, but that doesn't seem particularly feasible. And it puzzled me momentarily as to what this other arm was for. Because yeah, there's nothing for it in the instructions. And then I realized on the box it does show the cage being on that side instead of this side. And that is what that arm is for, just to give you options, it's play options. Because I'm guessing for most people who aren't me, this will be a play set, not a display set, but I'm going to display it because, well, I mean, I don't really play with the Legos so much anymore. So looking at the front, so let's see, the posters. I did get my 2 random posters. I got, it's like Gold Roger and Arlong, who apparently are both worth, well, Gold Roger's is illegible, but Arlong's worth a lot of money. Is that because Gold Roger's like really an old poster? What is, let me know what the story justification for that is. We do have a little clown Jolly Roger up there. Yeah, it's a cute set. It looks nice. This will look good in my carnival. We have a seating area. We have a place for Buggy to come out. I probably will put the knives away. Oh no, that is, so that's, or did that come off of his foot? I think I pulled that off of, I did. It's like, wait, so you can only the little version sit there? But nope, that is the feet from the little version that I have now got permanently attached. There we go. And back and you go. Lay down, there we go. And let's put Zorro's green hair. Will it fit? It will not. It will not fit. Well, in the other crate then. The other crate only has another bandana in it, so that should work. Oh, and I'm destroying this. So the build may not be this. So these pieces here are on hinged, to give you that angle that Lego doesn't normally manage to do. So they're on hinged pieces, and these are the only things that are kind of holding them in place. So if something happens to them, like say someone starts yanking on them, then yeah, it's going to make those little bars pop off. Here we go. All right, so yeah, maybe we'll put the knives away, I don't know, but we'll find some way to put them over here. But yeah, it's a cute little set. I don't know the context of this show, and I don't really care. I mean, I guess I could watch the Netflix version. It's only 2 seasons, right? Wouldn't be that hard to get into. But it'll be a fun little edition. Put it by the Pirates in the Carnival. And then we have a carnival, the first carnival show. Everything in the carnival has been food or rides. Now we have an actual bit of entertainment. Well, I take that back. There are some walk-around characters like a juggler and stuff, but this will be the first like actual kind of organized show. One thing I don't like is this head. As you can see there, it doesn't stay up because it is held on by just that one little claw there. So we could have probably used a second one. I don't know how that would have. I'm not gonna say you could have put 2 1x1x1s there and had 2 claws. And that would have been fine. And maybe I'll modify that at some point. I don't know. Do they have brown ones that would fit into? I think they do. But yeah, that's the head's just too heavy to be held up by one claw because yeah, as you can see, it just continues to fall forward. I guess having it look down on the audience does make it a little creepier, but and I can't tell in the picture if that's supposed to look that way or not. But otherwise, pretty good build for ages 8 and up. So again, I'm not really sure if that is the age group this is intended for. I don't know how mature. I don't know what the rating on the Netflix series is, but of course, with Lego, the ratings usually are based on the intent of who it's for more than just the skill level. So I'm guessing this is, for kids. But I don't know. Let me know in the comments. I don't watch One Piece, so let me know in the comments how appropriate this is for the youngins. It was a decent build. A fair number of fiddly bits in there. The decals are certainly some of the most challenging I've dealt with this year. Probably in a couple years. Just putting a sticker on a 1x1x1 is, well, that's what the tweezers are for, right? This one also actually, I didn't have an issue with it, but clear stickers are always a challenge when it comes to Lego because if you get your finger on the back side of that sticker, you're gonna have your fingerprint right there in the middle of it forever. And I did luckily get it in the first try, so I didn't end up accidentally touching it. You can touch it down here because you can't. There's no visible through there. But yeah, clear stickers are always a risk when it comes to Lego. I get what the effect they're going for is, and it looks good, but yeah, that was not a good experience there, but I pulled it off. I did a good job of it. And I think all of it looks pretty good. I think I got all the stickers on fairly straight, which is nice. Anyways, have you built Kit 75637? What did you think of it? What did you think of the stickers in particularly? And tell me who those wanted posters are for. And I mean, are there some that are better to get than others? Let me know in the comments. But with that, we'll wrap this up. I hope you found it all interesting or entertaining. If you did, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Now it's time to go set up a pirate clown show in the carnival.